Hello everyone. Couple of students have contacted me with some issues with getting OpenVAS to scan correctly. I've been working on that pretty much all day today, and I think I've come up with a solution for it. Well, I know it works for my box, and I assume it will work for yours too. First thing I want you to do is delete the current one that you have, in case you've had any weird kind of configuration changes you've made that might be conflicting. So let's just start fresh. Delete that. And then I will import that machine, a brand new copy, just like the one that I've given you. I'll grab that, tell the system to import it. The one thing I recommend, if you can, give it more memory. I'm going to give it 4 gigs because I can, but really 2 gigs would probably be ideal. That could be part of the problem, that things seem so slow because there's not enough memory for the system. So 2 gigs has worked for me. I'm going to give it 4 this time. Don't reinitialize Mac cards. Don't do anything other than that. Just import the machine in. Okay, I will pause here for a minute or two while it's importing. I'll start it back up once it's almost done. Okay, it's almost done. It should be ready in about a minute. Once it's done, I will take a snapshot just because I don't want any problems. And if something should happen, I can always snapshot back. That's just a little precaution. Now I'll start the machine up. Once again, this is a fresh copy. This is exactly what you have. Same machine. Quite honest with you, I'm not sure what the problem is. OpenVAS logs are not really very descriptive about what the issues are. We'll take a look at the logs and we'll see what it does, what information it does have for us. Alright, so we'll log into the box. MySLCC. First thing we're going to do is just make sure OpenVAS isn't running. If it is running, kill any service. It should not be running. Once again, you're going to have the same exact machine, so we should be in the exact same place. So first thing I will do is, just to make sure, I will type OpenVAS stop. Just make sure if there's any seems a little strange to me. OpenVAS seems to have little tendrils everywhere. So I just want to make sure it's not there, and then we can type ps-aux. And we'll grep for open, and we should get nothing back except the grep, which is correct. Alright, so we'll start OpenVAS now, because this is most of the time it looks like it's starting perfectly fine. So I'll start the OpenVAS service, and then once it's started, I will go through the check just to show you what it looks like from my perspective. Alright. And then OpenVAS check setup. Okay, and it comes back and says everything looks okay. But if you look at the logs, it doesn't really seem that way. So there's one in particular. Now, I really don't know if this is having a great impact on it, but it does solve the problem when I go through these steps. So if I cd into var log OpenVAS, there are 3 logs in here, and we can look at them, so we will. We'll do a less on OpenVAS MD. That log gives me some information about authentication. Configuration is not found. Not exactly sure what it's trying to tell me there. It works at the end, so we'll go with that one. The other log that I want you to look at, you should see the same type of information. I'm looking at this one. This one comes back and says that there's a directory that's missing. And I do create that directory, and I recommend that you do it too. But that's the only error message that's in that log. So that's the dump. And then if I go into OpenVAS message, come here, message, I really don't see anything a problem with. Okay, so that's the OpenVAS logs. There's nothing in var log messages that I can see anywhere that there's an issue. So the one thing it did say was that directory was not created. So if you cd into var lib OpenVAS, this is where the directory should be. You'll notice it's not there right now. So pwd, where am I? That's my path. That's where you should be. Type make dir, and it is the GNU PG directory that should be created. Check that. Sure enough, it's there now. Okay, so what we'll do is we will go back and stop, or did we stop OpenVAS again? Let me just type my history. I can't remember if I stopped. Yep, I started. Okay, so we're going to stop it. So OpenVAS stop. We'll stop the service and we'll restart it. Now, I did do a reboot earlier, and I can't tell you if that had any part of it, but this seemed to work without the reboot, so we'll go with it that way. OpenVAS start. So we're going to start the service up, and then I'm going to run a check on it again. Okay, and then once again it comes back and says that, everything looks okay. Fantastic. What we'll do next is now open up Firefox, the browser. I was actually getting quite a few different messages depending on what I was changing in the configurations. I was getting things like the scanner wouldn't start, OpenVAS can't, the NVTs are corrupt. This, and I got it to work a couple times that way, but this one seems to consistently work for me and doesn't have too many crazy steps to have to go through. So we'll open this up. We're going to go to Preferences. What I want you to do is delete, click Advanced once you open Preferences, then go to Certificates, click View Certificates, go to the Server tab. That's the one you need to be on. Find the OpenVAS certs and delete them, just in case these are going to interfere with anything. It'll just re-hand out the cert to you, so it's not a big deal. Okay. I will close Firefox. I'm going to actually delete the history from here too. So if I go in here, the history, clear out recent history. I'm going to clear out everything. Now, once again, I'm not sure if that has any impact on what we're doing at all, but you start getting superstitious after a while after you've gone through this so many times. Okay, but close the browser. We'll open the browser up again. Once again, being a little paranoid. Alright, so we'll get rid of this. We don't need you. Go down. Alright, and then now we'll open up a tab and we'll go to HTTPS localhost port 9392. Alright, we will click Advance. We'll accept the exception for the certificate, the new one that's coming in. Sure, that's good. We'll take it. That opens up the Greenbone Assistant. We'll put in our username and the password. That's in the file up here. Grab that. Copy, paste, Control V, log in. Okay. Now, everything looks good. We should be fine. We're going to run a scan. I know my Kali box, my Metasploit box is out there at this address. So I will tell the system to scan the Metasploit machine. Just change it to the address of your Metasploit box. And it can be a little slow, right? It seems a little slow, but just be patient with it. I'm not going to pause the video. I want you to see what it looks like. Okay, so I have a request. Now I have seen where that's taken longer than the minute or 30 seconds it took for that. So just be aware of that. And what we're hoping to see is it will actually start scanning this time and get past the 1%. Because what's been happening is, for some of the students, it's just been dying, or ending, I should say, at one report, blink, it cans right out. See, that it's taking more time is actually a good thing, not a bad thing. It tells me that it's working. I just keep hitting that refresh button up there. My fingers crossed. Burning incense. Anything to make it work. And I have had to stop it, literally get out of it and come back into it again. And that usually will get it going. Let's just see if it will do what it's supposed to do here. I'm going to stop loading this page, and then I'm going to tell it to reload it. Maybe that'll move it along. It just takes time, I know. It seems like forever for it to go, but it eventually will end up working. Nice. While it's doing that, I'm just going to browse over here for a second. Come on. Okay, this is kind of the weird stuff that I've been seeing. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be impatient. Go away. And I'm going to open it back up again. Because I have had to do this to get it to recognize, or at least just to update the page is all that's really happening. So, okay, we'll click on this. Put back in admin, password, log in. Okay, there they are, right? No, it's just weird. But it is free software, and it's good software once you can get it working. I'm going to pause this one. I'm going to pause that one. You can also delete your task database also if that's a problem. I wouldn't recommend that. There is a task DB file that can be deleted, but let's just see how this goes for right now. All right, so what we want is it to get past 1%, and I can feel pretty confident it's going to do that because it's not immediately exiting from the scan. I'll just keep refreshing until it gets to something. I'm going to actually delete that one, get rid of it. Needless to say, this is why they want you to buy the appliance. So you get support and it's all configured for you. Yeah, every time I look at OpenVAS, it seems to change a little bit, and it's definitely a challenging piece of software. In a world of challenging software, this is one of the harder ones. Okay, I'm not going to pause because I want you to see that it does take some time. As long as it's sitting here, that's probably a good sign. It's only when it actually stops the scan and gives you a report that there typically is an issue. Come on, OpenVAS. There it goes. All right, so you see on the screen now it's at 4%, and it will just keep going. Now it's going to take a long time for the scan to finish. I'll just let you know right now. So be patient. It seems to just hang at 98% most of the time, and to be honest with you, if yours is hanging at 98%, just stop it. Because you're doing a full and fast, so you're scanning for things like Cisco and Windows and all kinds of scans that are not necessary. It's full. It definitely is not fast, but it's full. You can see it's progressing here. Now it's at 8%. All right, so please go through those steps. If you have any questions at all or you're still having issues, contact me and let me know, and I'll take another look at OpenVAS and see what we can do. But we'll be looking at using this with Metasploit in the next assignment coming up. All right, everybody. Thank you.